the worst running game in franchise history. You have to fix it. You have to address it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to fix it. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today we're going to talk some football. Houston Texans football. Today we're going to talk about free agency again. Like I told y'all, target offense via free agency. I know I'm not really big on spending money on running backs, but you have to fix this running game. You have to. You have to. You have to. I don't care who your quarterback is. Quarterback cannot survive with the type of running game that we have. We have to fix it. We have to address it. We got to talk about it. We're going to break it down. But before we do that, like I've been telling you in the last couple of videos, the goal is to reach 5K. Y'all, we are real close. We are almost there. We are almost there. I'm doing a very, very special giveaway when we get to 5K. But trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of it. But the only way to be a part of it is to get the channel to 5K. So you know what you got to do. You got to do your part. You got to like, share, subscribe, send it to your homeboy, your homegirl, your cousin, your next door neighbor, your co-worker, your person down the street, the person you met at the store right there and there, anybody who like YouTube, anybody who like good sports content, anybody who like these Texans. Even if they don't like the Texans, just they like sports in general, NFL, NBA, whatever, it don't matter. Because we do all type of stuff. If anybody who like good sport content, put them on game, lace them up on game, get them subscribed to the channel, hook them up with the game, and let's get this channel to 5K. I don't care, share on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat. If you still do MySpace, or if you still do Black Planet, it don't even matter. Whatever social media platform you use, share it on the social media platform. Not only, hey, follow me on social media platforms as well. The links in the description below. We giving away 30 days free with Amazon Prime. If you sign up for Amazon Prime, you get 30 days free. So hit up them links under the description. Follow me on social media. Let's get this channel to 5K so you can be part of this special giveaway. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. You want to be a part of it. And we are oh so close, y'all. We are almost there. We almost there. So let's get it. Now, like I was saying, this running game that we seen for the Houston Texans was horrendous. The worst running game in franchise history. You can't even argue it. That's part of the reason why Davis Mills had his struggles. Like I said, I don't care who's back there. They will struggle with this type of running game that we had. The running game was horrendous. So you have to fix it. And like I've been telling y'all, address offense via free agency, address defense via the draft. Even though I do think you can get some guys in maybe the second or third round when it comes to running back, I'm not opposed to doing that as well because there's some studs you can get running back via the draft. But there's also some guys that you can kick the ties on via free agency to help fix this running game. And we're gonna talk about a couple of names. Some guys, because again, the Texans don't have a huge salary cap space. And again, I'm not for signing running backs to big contracts, especially guys who've been on other teams because some of their shreds left off them ties. So we're gonna talk about some guys that you could possibly get at a cheaper rate. Some young guys actually that you probably get at a cheaper rate. Now, one of the guys I'm talking about is a guy that Nick Casario knows very well. That's Sony Michel. Sony Michel actually kind of was like an underachiever in New England. That's the reason why he got I can't remember if he got traded, if he got cut, but he ended up with the Rams. And I mean, when I look at his statistics, it's not really all that bad. Just from me thinking about him, he wasn't really all that. But like I said, Sony Michel, he's 27 years old. First round pick out of Georgia. Played with the Patriots and the Rams. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. And he's a guy who can catch up the backfield. I mean, his rookie year, he had 209 attempts for 931 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns. Also caught also had 7 receptions for 50 yards with no receiving touchdowns. His second year, played all 16 games, but only got 247 yards. 7 touchdowns though, so he was a bigger threat inside the red zone. Caught 12 catches for 94 yards, with no touchdowns. And his last year at New England, he only played 9 games, had 449 yards, only 1 touchdown, but didn't do anything in the receiving game as well. 147 yards, 114 yards from 7 catches, only 1 receiving touchdown. And this last year with the Rams, played all 17 games, had 208 attempts for 847 yards, 4 touchdowns, and caught 21 catches for 128 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. And my mistake, his second year it was 200 and it was 247 yards and 247 carries with 912 yards with the 7 touchdowns. The second year, my bad, I made a mistake on that. He was pegged as supposed to be a dual threat running back, and as you see, he really didn't do much in the receiving game. Never had 1,000 yards as a running back, but his numbers weren't like his numbers. His first 2 years were good. His third year wasn't really all that good, and he kind of did something again with the Rams this past year. Like I said, somebody who Nick Casario knows well. He was a first-round pick coming out of Georgia. Late first round was the pick 31st overall, and it's somebody I can see Nick Casario kicking the ties on because once again, it's a guy he knows well. It's a guy he was in the building when he got drafted, so I could definitely see Nick Casario kicking the ties on Sony Michel. He's better than what we have. Like if you be honest, he's way better than what we have, and I believe it's a guy who you should target. I think you should target him. Don't give him a whole bunch of money, but somebody you can kick the ties on because again, this Texas offense ain't about to win the Super Bowl next year. So he ain't about to win Super Bowl next year. So somebody you can kick the ties on. You can make a couple plays here and there with him. So it's a guy I feel like the Houston Texans should try to target. Now another guy who Texas. Now I know Ray really gonna like this guy because Ray was talking me. Shout out to my boys out there in South Sports. My boy Ray, everybody out there in South Sports. Shout out to everybody out there. Me and him was talking about this guy. Him and Wise actually was talking about this guy not too long ago, and that's Marlon Mack from the Indianapolis Colts. A guy who basically been put on the back burner because of the drafting of Jonathan Taylor. He's younger than I thought. I didn't realize he was this young. He's 25 years old. He's 25 years old. He was a 4th round pick in 2017. He's 6 foot, 212 pounds. His rookie year, he played 14 games, had 93 attempts for 358 yards, 3 touchdowns. His second year, played 12 games, had 195 attempts for 908 yards and 9 touchdowns. 2019, his third year, had played 14 games, had 247 attempts, had 1,091 yards and 8 touchdowns, and then his second, in 2020, only played 1 game, had 4 attempts for 26 yards, and this past season only played 1 game as well. Only had 16 yards. I know his last 2 years have been played with injuries and things like that. His rookie year, he also racked up 21 catches for 225 yards and 1 touchdown. In the second year, he had 17 catches for 103 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. So he's been more of a receiver threat than Sony Michel. Like I said, Sony Michel was kind of underwhelming at the receiver. You thought he was going to be a receiver threat, but he really wasn't with New England. Marlon Mack is a little bit more receiving threat, but not really. Not what we've seen, like, in Houston with Arian Foster and things like that. But Marlon Mack is not bad. He reached 1,000 yards a couple years ago, and a guy who, like I said, injuries and also the emergence and the drafting of Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis kind of put a damper into his run game. But once the Colts start fixing the offensive line, you've seen what they could do with the running game. And the guy who I definitely think, especially with the injuries he's had and the more lack of production, I think Sony Michel might be regarded with more high regards than Marlon Marcus because of the injury concern. Definitely a guy I think you should kick the ties on, and a guy I think you can get really cheap. Something that's perfect for Houston Texans. Somebody you can get very cheap. Somebody who has had talent, who has had some success in the past, but maybe not what you want. Now, maybe not what you've been wanting for the past couple of years. Warranted. That's the reason why he's not going to get a huge contract. That's not the reason why he's not going to be highly sought after. Somebody who I think you can also convince comes to Texans, because we already know it's going to be hard to get free agents. It's going to be hard to get free agents with the salary cap space, with the whole Deshaun Watson debacle we have going on, with the thing we have with the front office with Calvin there and Jack Easterby. But we do think that Lovie Smith is going to be somebody who we think who can present, can get some free agents to come for the Houston Texans. Guys who will be more willing to play for the Houston Texans than wouldn't be willing to play in previous years because of somebody like Lovie Smith. But we also know we got dampers on us because of what we have in the front office and Jack Easterby and Calvin there in the whole Deshaun Watson situation as well. And also not having salary cap space to spend a lot on free agents. So we already know what type of situation we're in, but I think Marlon Mack is a guy that you can go after. I'm not opposed to signing Marlon Mack. Now, the next guy I want to talk about is somebody who, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I wanted during the draft. When the draft was coming out, I wanted him during the draft. But I said this on the stream because I was on South Sports. Shout out to everybody at South Sports. We did a live draft. I said this on the stream when he was drafted. He was drafted in the first round. And I said, that's a reach. I want the Texans to draft him. But I want the Texans to draft him later on in the draft. I was thinking about third to fourth round possibly. He was drafted in the first round by the Seattle Seahawks. And that's Rashard Penny. I thought it was a reach when Seattle drafted him that high. And he's been completely underwhelmed, especially being a first round pick. Has been completely underwhelmed for the Seattle Seahawks. Like I said, he's 26 years old. He's 5'11" with 222 pounds. Was a first round pick in 2018. Was drafted 27th overall in the first round. And like I said, been a very, very underwhelming career. Like his rookie year, had 85 rushes for 419 yards and 2 touchdowns. His second year had 65 rushes for 370 yards and 3 touchdowns. In 2020, only played in 3 games, had 11 rushes for 37 yards and no touchdowns. In this past season, only played in 10 games, had 119 rush attempts for 749 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, averaging 6.3 yards per attempt. This past season was obviously his best season, but still very lack of production. And I know he missed some time here and there, especially in his third season, in the 2020 season, missed some time. But that's part of his reason. He also missed some time in the second year as well, had some injury concerns, and just a lack of production. Just really a lack of production. You're talking about 419 yards, 370 yards, 37 yards, and then 749 yards. 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, no touchdowns, and then 6 touchdowns. And did absolutely nothing in the receiving game as well. Like, lack of production. Lack of production. This obviously was his best year, and this year here wasn't a good year. This year right here, compared to the other 2 guys that I named, his best season would be their, third best season? Third, and actually, in Sony Michel's case, it would be Sony Michel's 4th best season, and it would be his 4th best season, and Marlon Mack will be his 3rd best season. So actually, Sony Michel actually has more production than the other 2 guys. That's what I'm saying. I think Sony Michel actually would take a higher price tag than both Marlon Mack, who I really like. I like a lot, and also Rashard Penny, who I liked coming out of college. I liked him coming out of college, and he, like I said, I thought he was going to be a guy you can get in the later rounds, but Seattle took him early on. It was a reach. It shows it's a reach because Chris Carson's a better running back than him, and we see them go even re-sign beast mode for a time or 2 because they need help in the running game because how underwhelming and how lackluster Rashard Penny has been in the running game after being the 27th overall pick in the draft. So he's not going to command a high price tag. You're going to be able to get him with a cheaper price tag. Again, I will take him on this offense because what you have right now, I think only running back you have on the roster right now, I think is Rex Burkhead. David Johnson's not under contract. Good. We don't need no David Johnson. And that's it. They don't have any other running back under the contract right now. And we've had running backs in the building, Deontay Foreman, a guy I would definitely want to bring back, but would Deontay Foreman come back to the Houston Texans? Because what you seen him do in Tennessee after Derrick Henry went down was very productive. He had a lot of production in Tennessee. The last time we seen him in the playoff game, had a 50-yard run before they took him out the game, and Ryan Tannehill throws an interception, and you don't see him no more. That was the last carry he had that game. He breaks off a 50-yard run, and you don't see him no more in the game. Partly they try to keep giving the ball to Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry come off an injury, and Ryan Tannehill showing that he has regressed. He is not the guy. They need to do something different because their offense comes and goes with Derrick Henry. You've seen that in the playoffs. You've seen that in the end of the season. You've seen that in the playoff as well when it comes to the Tennessee Titans. But they should continue to give the ball to Devontae Foreman. They didn't do it. We had him here in the building. You also had the other running back, Hilliard, the other running back they had in the building, a guy who actually had a little fumbling problems here, especially in Tennessee. We had him in the building. Got rid of him during training camp. You traded away back to New Orleans. And he was still your leading rusher, Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was still your leading rusher on the team until like week 16. Week 16. He was still your leading rusher. Up until we played the Chargers and Rex Burkhead goes off. That's when Rex Burkhead took over and became your leading rusher. This is the worst rushing attack in franchise history. So you have to fix it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to get it fixed. You have to. I think you should still target. Like I said, I think that might be the only offensive position, maybe outside some linemen here and there, that you need to target during the draft. Is running back, but you can get those guys second, third, fourth round. I'm of the mindset that no matter who you have on your roster, when it comes to running backs or secondary, you always get those type of guys late in the draft. Always. I don't care who you have. I don't care if you have I don't care if you have I don't care if you have Adrian Peterson and Barry Sanders as your running backs. I don't care if you have Deion Sanders, Darrelle Reeves, and Jalen Ramsey as your corners. And Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu as your safeties. That could be your whole secondary right there. Your two starters, your slot corner, and your two safeties, and your two running backs. I don't care if that's who your team is. In the draft, every single year, somewhere in the draft, you draft a DB and you draft a running back. I don't care because those guys are always disposable. Those, especially corners, they always rotating guys in the secondary. You always rotating guys in the secondary. Same thing with running backs. Running backs are always getting rotated on every other play. The guys are always getting rotated. You always keep those guys in the chamber. So you always replenish your offense, replenish your defense via the draft, and take those guys. So you still should take a running back late in the draft is what I'm saying. But kick your tires on some of these guys via free agency, some of these cheap guys that you can get who have a little talent, maybe had injury concerns here and there, but they'll service you more than what you have right now, and just don't give them a high price tag. I don't care that they have injury concerns as long as you don't give them high price tags. If you give these guys little cheap ass deals, they'll go about their merry way, and you'll be able to at least get something out of them. Like I said, the Texans right now, today, are not out here trying to win a Super Bowl right now. We want them to win a Super Bowl. We definitely want that to happen. We all know. We're going to be honest with ourselves. The Texans ain't making the playoffs this year. Not that I see. Now, who knows? They might surprise me. I'm rooting for love. They might surprise me, but we don't think they're going to make the playoffs right now. So, you can kick the tires on some of these running games just to help fix this running game some, to help out your quarterback. All y'all out there, Davis Mills Mafia, y'all, he needs to run the game. He needs a running game. That's probably one of the best friends for, we always talk about tight end as a security blanket. Probably a quarterback's best friend is a competent running game. So you need to get him a running game. And this was the worst running game in franchise history. The absolute worst. Since 2002, this was the worst running game in franchise history. You have to get it fixed. Have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to get it fixed. Do something. Do something to get it fixed. Do something. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I holla.